Hello, all. Hope everyone's having a great evening tonight. Gonna check out a few songs tonight, and this first one here is called Dax Propaganda feat. Tom Macdonald. The link will be down in the description, and don't forget to chuck me a subscribe if you like what you see. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy my reaction.
Hey, Daryl. You good, bro? You ain't picking up calls, dog. What's wrong, man? Daryl, you good? Hey. Hey, Daryl.
Uh-oh.
Don't lose yourself.
Dude, talk about a true representation of what's going on.
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. New Year's Eve, they've been dropping the ball. Independent, how we dead in the game. We don't write to the sound of applause. Hidden truth, dotted lines, ain't never signed, stood and remain the boss. In a world that is full of facades, where if you speak, you get nailed to a cross. I won't be
That's
silent.
facts, dude. In a world full of facades, when you speak, you'll be full. What do you say? In a world full of facades, if you speak, you'll get nailed to the cross. I think that's what he said. That's true.
Broken. I am the product of pain, so when you see my name, no fame could never break down a brain that is already broken. Every wound is a paid devotion. They fill words as I purge emotions, scabs hair as I drop hits that bleed loud from demonic omens. The system decides we spend, we buy, while most of our time is spent in bed. The dreams we have all stay inside. We sleep and wake and live with regret. The price of life is half the cost. The price of fame could cost your head. If infamy is what you seek, and propaganda is
And all
what
I
you
see
spread.
is propaganda.
News you can trust.
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
Look what they dude. Before we get into Tom's little thing here, that is facts here. Let me see here. Right
Propaganda.
about
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
Look at this dude. This is I thought the other stuff was representation of our society. The guy sitting in front of the TV with the beam coming across in his chest, basically him zoning out and absorbing every bit of propaganda that they're spewing. When you're going in the restaurant, the diner, everyone's sitting there with the phones in their face. Have you ever been in that? I think I've mentioned this before. I had a epiphany at one point in my life many years ago. We walked into a restaurant and I looked around. There's probably 50 people in there, and no one was talking to each other, and everyone was just sitting there with their phones in front of their faces. And they have that look on their face. And you really don't notice it because you're doing it too. But if you do have that moment in your life where you notice everyone around you is basically controlled by their phone, it really has helped me as a person. I can set my phone down now because I do recognize when I'm doing too much on that. To someone I know who watches my reactions, I just want to say this, dude. Stop playing the little games on the phone all the time and communicate with people a little bit better. It's totally sucking your mind dry, man. And I care about you, so I think you might know who I'm speaking about, the person out there. And it just sucks you into the phone and you can't get out. It's like some kind of alternate reality. You get into that phone, looking at the news, looking at the feeds, and they just feed you propaganda. It's true. It's true. Feeds. I mean, it is true. This guy, we have them in our cars. We have them in our homes. I got a freaking Alexa in my kitchen with a great big screen on it. I think of 10, 12. See, she's talking to me now. But they control every aspect of our life. And it's unfortunate. I was eating some vinegar chips a while ago. I don't eat potato chips very often. And my wife bought these vinegar potato chips. And I'm sitting there in front of the Alexa. I'm not going to say it because she's listening. Well, she's always listening. But I was eating the chips. And then the next thing I know, I get an ad on the screen that says, do you like those vinegar potato chips? Every part of our life. And we will be better off as a society when everybody starts to recognize that, because they're controlling us. They're controlling us in more ways than you possibly know.
Liquidated, indoctrinated. They convince us all that everything we say is racist, and blood will change it. That's what happens. Y'all need balance.
Right. They convince us that everything is blood, that blood will change everything. Violence is the way. Hate each other, and it's kind of there at some. I don't know, really care who you voted for. I think everybody that's their own personal decision. But I believe that if we kept going down that racial tension thing, our country would be destroyed. People need to recognize the racial control. They're using skin color to control us. I just want to shake people sometimes when everything out of their mouth is racially. It's about race. It's sickening to me. The racial component is sickening, but what's even more sickening is the fact that people have been indoctrinated and they can't get it out of their heads. They see their prism, their world is all black and white, brown. They don't see man, woman, child. They don't see none of that. They see black, white, brown, and everything is pushed racially. And it's really unfortunate that people have to be that way, but that is where we are at as a society. Really unfortunate.
All that everything we say is racist, and blood will change it. That's what happens. Y'all need balance. Y'all need blacks and whites and lefts and rights to stop the madness. They planned it. It's Trump or Biden. We all been divided right in the streets. Elections always been rigged. I ain't surprised when somebody cheats. All I see is pentagrams and the propaganda, but our priority's the vaccine. It ain't hard for wolves to find the fight.
Right. There's pentagrams. There's things going on. But we don't pay no attention to that because the only thing that we see is the vaccine, because that is the topic that they want us to focus on. It is the truth. That is how they do it. I woke up to a lot of this propaganda many, many years ago when I was a lot younger. And it really made me stop watching television, and I kind of went a different way. But it was somebody did something in California. I can't remember what it was. They committed some sort of crime. And I'm sitting there watching it on television. And what happened was within about 20 minutes, I hated this person that I don't even know who allegedly committed a crime. They showed no proof. They just told me that this person was a criminal and that this person needed to basically die. That's kind of how they made it seem like. And within, a few short minutes, I was really feeling a certain way about this person. And then I kind of caught myself. Well, the media is the judge, jury, and executioner. There is no court system anymore, because if the media says that someone's a criminal, then someone's a criminal, even though it might be a lie. And they just spew propaganda until the average citizen, like myself at that time, believes that that person's a criminal. And that's where we're at. And we're still there. And unfortunately, not everybody has had that epiphany where they could say, you know what, I am manipulated. I am propagandized, and everything on the TV, even if I like it, it's designed for me to like it, so that I like the personality that's speaking to me and I believe what they are saying to me. It's very, very diabolical. It's diabolical. Look at Tom on the screen there. It's diabolical.
When the sheep are fast asleep. Too many people lack character. Too many journalists scaring you. Too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. They probably gonna tear it up.
That's true.
I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica.
Went to bed with the American dream, woke up in Nightmerica. That's true too. A lot of you younger people, I don't know if you understand this. This isn't, America used to be really, really good. Our society is so dysfunctional right now. And the majority of the reason why it's dysfunctional is because of the propaganda that they consistently, all the time, spew in our faces. All the time. It's never ending.
And all I see is propaganda.
That's hard.
Propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. That is crazy. That kind of got me thinking right there at the end. I know that's a dangerous thing, but give me a moment here. Let me look up something. Okay. There is a poem by Sir Walter Raleigh. It's called The Lie. I couldn't remember the poem, so it's I won't read it all, but there's a couple parts in it that really kind of hit with this. The poem was written in the 17th century, and it basically talks about how propaganda, how it's used to manipulate the truth. So whenever you've got people changing definitions and manipulating the truth, that is propaganda. And if you believe that a human being can become a dog or another, you know what I'm saying here, can become something that it's not, you have been propagandized and you are not being rational and reasonable. And you probably should check yourself and kind of step back and maybe really think about things in a little more clear manner. But the poem says, go soul the body's guest upon the thankless errand. Fear not to touch the best. The truth shall be thy warrant. Go since I must die, and give the world the lie. Now, this is the part where kind of listen to what this says right here. Say to the court, it glows and shines like rotten wood. Think about what I'm saying here. Say to the court, it glows, but though it shines like rotten wood. Say to the church, it shows what's good and doth not no good. If the church and court reply, then give them both a lie. Propagandize them. The poem goes into things like that. There's a lot of, like this part, tell zeal it wants devotion. Tell love it is just lust. Like it doesn't exist. It's just lust. Love is just lust, so love doesn't matter. The time it is but motion. Tell flesh it is but dust. And wish them not reply, for thou must give them a lie. It's a, propaganda's been around since the beginning. Manipulating people. The problem nowadays is our technology, like you saw at the beginning with the phones. I always tell people, I can't change you. I'm not going to convince you one way or the other. That has to be done from within. And it was like with me, it was things like the phones and the restaurants, watching a TV show and all of a sudden hating someone on there. And I don't even know the person, but all of a sudden I hate them. And I've basically tried and convicted them right off the get-go. And that's what got me. That's what pulled me out of the funk. But if you can't realize things, what is really happening within our media, then, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems, and there's always going to be conflict. And, I just hope for the best on that, and hope that people find reason and logic in their life to where the propaganda basically bounces off you as like a shield. I think that is the only way to stop propaganda, is have clear, concise reasoning and logic in your life. And then that kind of puts a outer shield on you. And when that propaganda comes, it might seep in a little bit, but ultimately it will be reflected by the shield. And so you have to educate yourself. So with that, I just say thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great evening, and peace.